Hey guys, it's Byron back with another 9 to 5 wholesale show. And in this show, we're going to be talking about the daily life of a 9 to 5 wholesaler, man. Like, what does it take to start wholesaling real estate while you are maintaining your 9 to 5? Um, on Mindset Monday, we talked about the mindset of a 9 to 5 wholesaler versus an entrepreneur wholesaler. But when you have a 9 to 5 and trying to be an entrepreneur at the same time, you kind of have to have both mindsets, right? You kind of go into this thing and you want to have that excellence mindset where everything you do, you're going to try to be the absolute best at it. But you also want that entrepreneur mindset where you got to work for yourself. I think Max Maxwell said in one of his videos, like, you giving 40 hours to somebody else, like how many hours are you going to give to your own dreams, right? You spending 40 hours making somebody's dream a reality, right? Somebody has put together something and asked you to be a part of it in order to make their dream a reality. How much time are you going to spend on your dreams? How much time you going to spend on creating a legacy for you, for your family, right? And that's the question, man. That's you got to spend time, and those are grinding days, right? Like when I was going to work, coming home, and still going back to work, trying to get something done with this wholesaling business. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, man. Like, what does that look like? What does that take to go to your 9 to 5, come home, then get on the grind still with this wholesaling business, right? Or really with any business that you're trying to start. If you work in your 9 to 5, then you come home. It's like I think one of the biggest things that I did was read a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, talking about how just like you know you got like you're more effective when you go into deep work. No distraction around you, no TV, no nothing. Get in a place, nothing but you and what you're supposed to be doing, and actually do it, right? And that's what I began to do. Like I would do everything I could at work because I was a teacher. I worked mostly at a computer. I could go into the computer, go on websites, go and do what I needed to do at work. As far as like, any emails that needed to be answered from wholesaling, so I was emailing attorneys, emailing buyers, emailing sellers. That's why I think texting is most effective when you got 9 to 5, because you can text sellers on the job, whether that's on the computer or whether that's on your phone. Either one on work when you're using launch control. And I got to make a video about launch control, how you use launch control to start wholesaling. And if you're interested in launch control, interested in start texting and selling or wholesaling real estate, the link is below. The launch control link, we'll put that below. Use my link and I give you a bunch of perks so that'll help you use launch control more effectively. And if you already got launch control, you ain't used my code, make sure you contact Launch Control, tell them that I sent you, and I'll send you the perks anyways. So I would text people at work. Bam, when I get to work by 8, 9 o'clock, I'm texting people. And texting people ain't nothing but just like once you set it up in the system, it's holding a button down and it just texts a bunch of people out, right? So you may mash that button once and hold it down for like, a few seconds, and now you text 500 people. Right. So that allowed me to get a bunch of text messages out. Right. And then those text messages come flowing in. And then I would be able to look at my phone or look at the computer and see, oh, this person's interested in selling. Oh, that person's interested in selling. Let me hit them back. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, I'm up teaching. I would get like an alert or my Apple Watch or alert or my phone, and I would look at it and be like, that person's like, oh, I'm interested in selling while I'm been teaching. I'm like, ooh, while I teach kids, like, oh, what's going on? Oh, nothing, man, ain't going on. It's just a man calling me about a dog. I was there teaching, doing my thing or whatever, man. But man, it's crazy. You working 9 to 5. You're like, how do you have time to do this? This is how I have time to do this. You use your phone, you use a computer if you had a computer to get on platforms like Launch Control and do what you need to do. And then, somebody interested, I text them back and forth, and I let them know at the end, I let them know, hey, I can have one of our purchase specialists call you at 1 o'clock. That was my lunchtime. So I could call them at lunch. or I had one of my purchase specialists call you at 4 o'clock. I knew I get out work, I could call them back at 4. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the big things, that I did that really helped me, texting, and then being able to use text to set up appointments to call and talk to people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did to start wholesaling while I was working my 9 to 5. And I think a lot of people can do that. And like, dude, it's an excellent way to, while you're on your 9 to 5, still be working for you. Then once I got off, then I would call those people back. Like on the way home, I'm calling people back, that was interested in selling. You know what I'm saying? And then, if there's a property maybe that I need to go to early on, I would go to that property. I always set an appointment after work, right? And once I got home, I better call everybody back. At least most people may have a few calls I need to call back. But then I would get on the phone to call buyers, right? I would get on the phone to call buyers, call agents all night long. I'm calling agents, trying to connect, right? Trying to, figure out what people are doing, trying to meet people, right? So that's what I would do, man. During the day, I would text people out. Throughout the day, I'm texting back and forth people who's interested. I set them appointment after I get off work or during my break. I call them back during my break. I call them back after work. And then once I get off work, once I'm done calling them after work, then I would go and call buyers, right? And call agents, and build relationships with them. And that's how I found buyers for the deals, right? So that's what I did, man. That's kind of how my work day would go. And that was the best. That's what I found most effective, at least the way that I did it. That's the only thing I speak to, is the way that I did it, and that worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And when I found buyers, and the thing was, when I found a buyer that was active, I would go and search for those type properties and be texting those type sellers during the day, right? And I would kind of be able to know kind of what the buyer is looking for. Now, sometimes, buyer would a seller hit me up. Oh, I'm interested in selling, da 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 da. I would, email my buyer over the property right there on the computer. See if they interested. If they interested, bam, I'm letting the seller know, hey, we interested, da 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 da. I can give you a call around this time. There was a few times though I called Jugger straight off the school phone, called him up, and was talking to him off the school phone. Right. One time I had one where I called him up off the school phone. The intercom came on when they were calling the kid. I hung the phone up. That's so crazy. I hung the phone up, and then once they were done with the announcement, I ended up calling them back. And I was like, "Dang, must have got disconnected or so." But it was crazy. Now that I think about it, they picked up their phone that had to say Powder County High School. You know what I'm saying? Had to say the school name that I was calling from. But man, that ended up being like a $20K deal that I did on that one, man. It was crazy, but that was pretty cool. A couple of times. Another time, this dude was interested in selling. I told the kids, "Hold on, I'll be right back." I stepped outside, called that joker back. Talked to him a little bit, told him we're gonna send over the contract. He signed it, bam, got a deal. Right. So it was a lot of stuff that I was doing. I would go outside sometimes. I had a co-teacher, so the co-teacher be in the class. I would go outside, be like, "Hey man, I'll be right back." I would go out, shout out to Coach Murphy. I would be outside, talking to people about a property, stuff like that, man. I got so many deals done on the 9 to 5, man. It's like, dude, I got so many deals done sitting right there at my 9 to 5. It's crazy, man. I was calculating the other day. I think I did like 60 something deals on my 9 to 5, man. 60 something deals done on my 9 to 5. It was crazy, man. Just sitting there right there at your desk at the 9 to 5, doing your job and still making extra money, man. So it's definitely possible. Definitely something that you could do.